everyone, this is Mohit. So today we are going to discuss about El Nino. So many people have a difficult time understanding this. As I had myself in the past, because we tend to understand it by the definition or theoretical part. But first we must know about the basic concepts behind it. What are the factors that are driving this phenomena? So first is insolation. So insolation is the amount of heat received by the Earth, and as we know, the Earth is not perfect sphere. It has a bulge in the middle, so the received by a particular area is different. As we go towards the poles, the amount of heat received is less. Okay, so for our convenience, we have divided the Earth from north to south in these imaginary lines. Okay, these are called equator, Tropic of Cancer, and Tropic of Capricorn. I'm assuming you all know about this. Okay, so this is necessary to understand the movement of winds. Okay, because this differential heating causes the pressure difference, and which further causes the movement of, as the sun rays are falling on the surface of the earth, the due to the heating the air expands, and because of the low density the air tends to rise upwards. Okay, and after reaching a certain height it will, and as we know the temperature decreases with the altitude, so it will get relatively cool down, and it will not go upwards anymore, so it will diverge. Okay, so if the sun is shining, the this area is receiving a good amount of insolation. There will be some area where the insolation is weak. Okay, there will be relatively high pressure because there is no heating, then there will be no expansion of the air. The air mass is relatively heavier, and so basically you can understand this concept like when you pressing on a balloon, the air pressure is maximum, so it will tend to move somewhere else. Okay, it will move to the other part of the balloon, so the area with the heavier air mass will tend to move towards low pressure. Okay, and the air mass which had diverged will fall down and takes its place, so this cycle will be created, and this is the reason why the direction of the wind is always towards from high to low pressure. Okay, I hope this uh, concept is clear, because we don't have to just memorize that. We must understand why the wind move towards low pressure from high. So let's take an example. So parts around the equators will have high temperature, therefore a low pressure area, and the areas away from the equator will have a low temperature, hence high pressure. Okay, this will always not be the case. Okay, because due to the movement of sun, the earth revolves around the sun. The sun is stationary. Okay, it will shine overhead in different regions because of the revolution of the earth. Okay, so these pressure zones will also oscillate with it. So coming on to the concept, it will the obviously you will be thinking that it will move from high pressure to low pressure area, but as I told you, the earth revolves around the sun. It also rotates from west to east, so the wind tends to deflect. Okay, this is called the Coriolis effect. uh, so for example, you're riding in a merry-go-round and you drop something. Okay, so the object will be behind you. Similarly, when you toss something up, so this will go in the different direction. I told you these two different cases because the movement of the wind will not always be in a same direction towards the equator. The wind will also move towards the poles, so it will also get deflected but in a different direction. Okay, so the uh, deflection takes place in these hemispheres. This is the north, this is the south hemisphere, so direction will be different. So these easterlies along with westerlies will cause the movement of ocean water, okay, along with the Coriolis force, okay, and the edge of the continents. Okay, suppose ocean current is moving in this direction, so it will be deflected because of the edge of the continent. Okay, there are three factors that govern the direction of the ocean currents. Okay, that could be winds. Okay, winds will cause the movement of ocean water. Okay, and then there is Coriolis force. Okay, and then third one is the edge of the continent. It is observed near the coast of the Peru and basically between the Pacific Ocean. Okay, the east coast of the Australia and of the west coast of the South America. This is South America and this is Peru. So normally this is the equator and the temperature here will be high. Okay, and due to the easterlies there will be north and south equatorial currents. Okay, so they will govern the movement of warm water towards the east coast of West Australia. Okay, so it will rain in Australia because the water and the warm wind carries moisture. Okay, it will rain in the northeastern and eastern part of Australia here. Okay, so now the movement will be, because it will find an area of with a pressure difference. Okay, so it will obviously not move backwards because it has come from there, so it will be the Antarctic Circle. From here on it will be cooled down and it will become a cold ocean current. Okay, because as we know the movement will be towards the low pressure area, so then there will be cold current and this will be known as Peru current and Humboldt current. Okay, so this is the normal cycle. Okay, it is a normal cycle of the coast of Peru and or we can say in the Pacific Ocean. So the main topic, El Nino. What is El Nino? El Nino is the reversal of this cycle. Okay, this movement of the ocean currents. So there will be warm ocean current along the Peruvian coast. So what are the reasons behind this? In any given year when the insolation is weak, so then the trade easterlies will be weak. Okay, and the trade easterlies were causing the movement of north and south equatorial currents. Okay, these were warm currents. Then this used to take the warm ocean water to the east coast of Australia. So this movement will be disrupted. Okay, and there is also a counter equatorial current. Okay, due to the weakening of the easterlies the movement is negligible. Okay, the movement of the north and south equatorial current will be negligible. There will work a counter equatorial current. Okay, this current is governed by the rotation of the earth because it is on the center of the, then Coriolis force effect on this current will be negligible, so it always moves from west to east direction. Okay, so the warm water will go here and it will be get deflected here, and there now here will be a warmer ocean current. The presence of warm ocean current along the coast of Peru, so you must know, as the temperature of the water rises, so there will be reduction in the amount of planktons. Okay, they are the food of the fishes, and so therefore there will be reduction in the number of fishes. Okay, and there will be distortion of equatorial atmospheric circulation. Okay, because naturally it had to move in this direction. Okay, it will cause rainfall here. Okay, that's why it is also called child Christ. El Nino means child Christ because this current appears around Christmas in December, because it is in the southern hemisphere, so there will be summer here in December. So this current will move towards the south and it will also warm the water around the Antarctic Circle. Okay, so other the winds, westerlies will govern the movement, and the same cycle will be followed here. So now comes to the topic why it affects India. Okay, so around Madagascar, here there is a presence of cold ocean current. Okay, there is a cold water, but as the westerlies govern the ocean current, and it is the warm current now. So as I told you about the pressure differences, so India is in northern hemisphere, and in summer season the sun will be here. Okay, it will be shining vertically here. Okay, so naturally the temperature will increase, and the pressure here, the pressure area will be weak, low. There will be low pressure, and here will be high pressure. Okay, so the easterlies will move towards the equator, and it will be attracted towards the Indian mainland. Okay, so these are generating now from the southwest direction. So now this will be called southwest monsoon. Are you getting it? So this was a normal cycle. This is followed in the monsoon season of India. Okay, so now the warmer ocean current and the warmer ocean water around the Madagascar, so there will be relatively low pressure area, and there also be low pressure area. So the movement of the wind will be weak. Okay, because it needs to be a cooler region so that it could guide the direction of the wind here. Okay, so the delay in monsoon will have economic impacts on India. Okay, as we are dependent on the agriculture. So this is the concept, and this has become a lengthy one, but it was very necessary to understand the concepts behind it. And so this was the topic, El Nino and southern oscillations. So southern oscillation is nothing but the cycle when the cycle changes direction from Australia to Peru, right? So it is read El Nino southern oscillations. I hope it was helpful, and thank you.